All right, so welcome to Summit. Did everybody have a good day yesterday? Yeah? How were the sessions? We haven't done workshops since like 2016, so was that a good idea or was it too much? All right, I hear a lot of good things. Awesome. Well, we are so glad you all are here, back with us in Bellevue for what I believe is the 11th Summit, if math may not be my strongest subject, but I believe it's the 11th. The 9th one in person, there's 2 years that we don't talk about, but we acknowledge they happen, but that's about it. So before we get too further, you're probably going to get tired of hearing this, but again, without our sponsors, give our sponsors a big hand. I don't know if any of you are in the conference planning business, but running a conference is very expensive. So we could not do this without their support. And most importantly, in the mornings, we couldn't have coffee without patching my PC. So when you see Ben and the gang, make sure you say thank you. Thanks. Like I said, not only is planning a conference very expensive, but it's very time-consuming. And popular contrary belief, I actually do very little. So we have a great team of volunteers. I just want to take a few minutes to kind of recognize people. So we have Missy in the back. Missy, say hi. So Missy led the content team this year. We had a whole slew of evaluators. I think we had 10 evaluators. We've never had those before. It's always just been Missy and Kevin helped last year, and then Missy and Warren. So that team, if you're on the content team, raise your hand. I think most of you are here. If you haven't got your thank you gift, go see Missy. So we have, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're standing right next to Missy. We have the one and only John, who's not wearing a tie. John is responsible for the bacon that we have every morning. He is our logistics director, so everything from the placement of this podium to the placement of your chair to what we're having for breakfast and the lunch and the snacks and all of that, John coordinated all of that. He's like, I'm not doing anything, and he goes in March. He goes, oh my God, there's so much to do. Because that's when that planning starts, whereas Missy's like, I'm really busy in November. And in December, she comes around, she goes, I'm done. Like, what do we do now? So, and then one more, somewhere in here, Mr. Mike Kanakis. There he is, our community director. This year, he's also our volunteer lead. So he's helping coordinate all the volunteers so that me, Missy, and John and Mike aren't sitting at that table all week like we normally are in the past so that we can enjoy some of the conference as well. So thanks to all of the volunteers who have helped out this week. Mike is also helping out with PowerShell Saturdays and a few other blogging efforts that we have going on at PowerShell.org that we'll talk about in a little bit. So that is most of the volunteers. I think we got all the content and everything. And then we'll do this later. All right. So the next thing I wanted to point out before we get too deep in anything is our friends over at Manning have put together a fantastic bundle deal for you all. We keep talking about the Manning deal. You probably saw it online. But these are 7 books that they're offering at 50% off for, oh no, I put a timer on this. This is going to be bad. So they're offering this bundle deal. Each one is 50% off this week and I think maybe next week. You have to buy 2 though. So then we also have 2 in a MEEP. If you don't know what a MEEP is, it's the Manning Early Access Program. That means the authors are still actively writing these books. And then if you buy the physical copy, they will mail it to you after it hits the printer. So that's the QR code if you want to it'll take you straight there. If not, it is plastered all over social media. And I think there's also a link in the mobile app. Or the mobile website, whatever. Let's talk about some stats for this year. We had 225 people here-ish, which is the same as last year. That's a good thing. We didn't go down from last year. Up 115 from our first in-person summit after the big C word in 2022. There was 115, 225, and 225. But more importantly is the on-ramp program. We went from 9 attendees in 2021, 12 attendees in 22, and now we have 25 in on-ramp this year. For those of you who don't know what on-ramp is, you can go talk to Jeff Hicks and Mike Robbins. They're running on-ramp. Essentially, what the on-ramp is an introduction to an IT career. So we found a long time ago that there's a problem, especially in the conference world. Like we had this conference, we have more kind of more expert level stuff, we don't have a lot of entry level content, especially with the user groups that kind of fizzled out after the big C word. There's really no place to get the introductory material outside of like a DevOps days or something like that. So we're like, well, how can we fix the pipeline problem? Because you don't want to stay in your position forever. Ideally, you should be trying to move up, either up or out, or at some point you're going to retire, and someone's got to take your place. So how do we get that? How do we fix that pipeline? So that's where OnRamp came out of. Yesterday they did an all-day PowerShell workshop with Jeff and Mike, and then throughout this week, you can actually look in the schedule, room 409. You can't go to any of the sessions, but you can at least see the titles of them. They're doing things like introduction to pester testing, introduction to Git. I think there might be a hands-on Ansible lab or something similar to that. So they're getting introduced to all these entry-level content so that next year they can come and sit in the sessions with everyone else. I know we have, how many people were in OnRamp last year that are back? I know there's at least 5. Some people are kind of shy. And then, of course, we have, I'm not going to point people out, but we have someone who came in 21, and she has been back in 21, 22, or 22, 23, and 24. So this is her second round in the big summit. So the OnRamp program is working. We are seeing great success. I know we always hear at least once a year, someone's like, I got a promotion at work. I think one person doubled their pay, take home for their family. Or they're like, I got a new job at a new company. They're paying more. Benefits are great. And it's all because of what they learned at OnRamp. So that's where a portion of that $2,000 that you spent to come here, a portion that goes, we actually paid for 6 people to come and join us on the OnRamp. That is flight, hotel, and 5 nights. Yeah, flight, ticket, and 5 nights in the hotel. So we were able to give, I said, 6 people that opportunity this year, which is another fantastic opportunity. I'm not going to point people out, but they're here in this room. They're here with us. All right. A little bit more about this year. We have 74 Yeah, no, that's not right. Yeah, 74 sessions. I think that's right. We'll see. I don't know. That does not sound right. Anyways, there are a lot of sessions going on this week. We have 53 speakers this year. That is up from last year. Last year, a lot of our speakers had to do doubles or even triples. But as you can see, of 18 of these 53 speakers are first-time speakers, and there are only a handful of people who have one or more than one session. I think it's less than 10. So that kind of talks about the community that the community within the PowerShell community as a whole. That's what I'm trying to say. Kind of speaks volumes to what the PowerShell community is and how we want to keep it growing. Because I'm not gonna lie, we kind of fizzled out for a little bit. We all got burnt out during during those 2 years in 20 and 21. But it's good to see the community growing, the community being active. You ask, well, what is the PowerShell community? Like, well, you saw it last night. It is hanging out here. We're hanging out in the courtyard. It's the hallway track that you see. That is the PowerShell community. I can come here from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, and I can talk PowerShell all day long and not get tired of it. And the person next to you is like, yeah, that's a good idea. And they're taking notes. In a nutshell, that is what the PowerShell community is. And that is why I believe the PowerShell community is the best community out here, better than, I'm not going to name names, but I think it's better than all the other communities. Better than all the other online communities, the most welcoming community at that. So give yourselves a hand for being a part of the community. All right. I jumped ahead, so some of these slides are going to be out of order because now everything I just said about OnRamp, imagine I said it now. And I forgot to ask Jeff if he wanted to come up, so that's why it says that. All right. Like I said, actually, someone said something to me last night. I'm like, oh, like this is like a big PowerShell conference, and they're like, no, like this is what has the concept of an unconference. I don't know if anybody familiar with an unconference. Like, yes, there's content, which is why we call it a conference, because we have scheduled content, the schedule's been released for months, and then there's structured everything. But the unconference part of it is what we call the hallway track. It's where breakfast and lunch, and we got the coffee cart outside. You can congregate, ask these questions, continuing the conversations that you had in your sessions with your speakers out in the hallway. Don't do it in the hallway. Go to room 403. The Maidenbauer people get mad if you congregate in the hallway. So if you don't know about room 403, that's our social lounge. There's a little bit of power in there. And then that's also where the coffee and the drinks are. They're around that area. But I was like, I never actually thought of this event as an unconference. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. I've also heard it referred to as a very large user group, because that's the feel that this has. This is not an Ignite. It's not Cisco Live. It's not VMworld. It's not even Tech Mentor. Like, it doesn't have that corporate vibe and corporate feel to it. Would you all agree? Like, very welcoming? And more importantly, what about the food? Those short ribs yesterday, right? All right, don't hold me to this, but I believe there are short ribs again today. If not, there's one day this week, there's another short ribs, I promise. All right, so let's take a little bit of look ahead of what the rest of the week has in store. So yesterday was all-day workshops. It's fine. Oh yeah, what about all right, I must say, I'm a little disappointed in most of you. The arcade yesterday sat mostly empty all night. And I thought, in this whole room of nerds, that the arcade was going to have lines waiting to play these vintage video games. So I just want to point that out there. How many of you played the arcade games? Good. Poker, we got Leslie. Leslie won our poker game last night. Turned $6,000 bucks into $45,000 bucks. Some of you have young kids. All right, so today, as soon as I'm done jabbering, so at 9:30, we're going to have Abby. Abby, raise your hand, say hi. Abby's going to come and give us our keynote address, followed real closely after that by a coffee break. The rumor has it food is going to magically appear out here, so we'll see what that is. And then we're going to have the PowerShell team's going to come up. Michael Green and the team are going to come up and show us a lot of the new and exciting things that they currently are working on or have finished, and something they want to bring to you. And also, so the rest of the team is going to be here. So we have Steve. I don't remember names. I'm not even going to try, because I know when I forget someone, they're going to get their feelings hurt. And then after lunch, so we're here until 1 o'clock, and then after lunch, we're going to go back upstairs for more breakout sessions. Now, first time attendees, right? How many? I think a large. Oh, that's a lot more than I thought. I don't actually know if it was ever mentioned anywhere, but how many of you have session FOMO or session anxiety? Like, you can't figure out what session to go to. I know that was a big problem yesterday. Yes. The good news is every session is recorded. It's going to be posted on our YouTube channel, completely free. Share it with your friends. Bring your friends with you next year. Like, this is the content that I saw in person. And not only did I go see this 45-minute presentation, I went to the social lounge and hung out with the speaker for another hour and kept the conversation going. So they're going to be posted on our YouTube channel. You can go back and see all of the previous content that we have up there, all the way. There are some recordings from 2015 and 2016. We don't promise the quality, but our friends over at ConFreaks in the back, give ConFreaks a hand. They do an amazing job at recording all of our content, posting online for us, much better than what we can do on our own. So they always do a good job, and we appreciate it. We've partnered with them since 2018, I believe. All right, so tonight, you may have saw a slide similar to this rotating around during breakfast. So tonight, there is no structured activity tonight. I know some of you are like, finally. We had Sunday night, and then we had Monday night, and then we'll talk about Wednesday night. So, you need a break, and we get that. So tonight is what we call our community dine-around. Now, here's how this works. If you feel like socializing, like sometimes you need a mental break, and I get that. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to continue these conversations, hop into dinner tonight in Slack. That's where all of these conversations happen. Find some friends. I highly suggest you make a reservation for dinner tonight, because there are 220 of you that are going to go eat at once, on top of the people who live here in Bellevue already. So I would suggest you make reservations. If not, just plan to wait an hour or so for your table. Grab a group of friends, go eat, go have a meal, continue talking about whatever it is that you want to talk about, and have a good time. All of these conversations are going to happen either in the hallway or in dinner tonight. If you want to lead a group, say, hey, I'm going to go to Duke's at 6 o'clock. Meet me in the courtyard lobby, and we're going to walk over. Or the Pump House is also a really great place. They don't take reservations, but you can just walk right around from the hotel. There are hundreds of places. I know there's some locals here that can give you some great recommendations. I know can give you, Kevin, not Mark, Kevin. You're looking at me like, huh? Kevin gives you some great recommendations. He lives right down the road. Greg lives right down the road, can also give you a whole bunch of recommendations. If you like seafood, though, I do suggest Duke's. Anybody been to Duke's yet? Or Dick's Burgers, if you like burgers. I think Corey got 15 last night, not for himself. Corey had a car. He went and got it for other people, but I didn't want people to think Corey ate 15 burgers on his own. Wednesday, we're going to have breakfast in here from 8 to 9, as usual, and then we're going to go upstairs, up the escalators to the 4th floor. We're going to have our 90-minute deep dive sessions. They're not quite as intense as the Monday sessions, but we always put them early in the morning because we know what happens in the afternoon. Like the brain starts bleeding out of the ears, and it's just, by the end of the day, we're done. So we got these technical deep dives in the mornings. Going to come back down here for lunch, then back upstairs for breakout sessions in the afternoon. And then our closing party. This, I guess a lot of you knew. So how many were here last year? That's a lot smaller group of hands. So we rent out a portion of, it's called the Forum Social House. We have the half of it, so the Top Golf, and we had the small little mini room. I think Vanda's floating around somewhere. Vanda's starting a D&D game. Yeah. I think there is a channel in Slack. I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, the RPG night. So if you're interested in doing that, hop in there. Vanda will organize that. It's a nice little quiet room off tucked in the back, so you don't get all that loud obnoxious noise that they have pumping through the place. But we have Top Golf bays. There's pool tables. And then we also get mini golf. So there's a 12-course mini golf putt in there. Mandatory picture with the unicorn. That will make more sense tomorrow. I should have put a picture in this. Oh, is it there? Oh yeah, mandatory picture with the unicorn. So and we want to see that on social media. I don't have a slide for this, but if you're going to post on social media, make sure you use the hashtag PSH Summit. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. Like we'll find it at some point. And then of course you can always tag us. We're on X and formerly known as Twitter and LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram. Aha! You bet you didn't know about those. So find us on social media. Tag us. We want to get all these pictures so that we can help you relive these memories next year. So that when the tickets go on sale next year, I don't know which one of y'all does this. I don't want to call anyone out, but the people who bought tickets last week, we need to have a chat. Anyways, buy your tickets early next year. So that's from 7 to 10 over there. If you, it's a very quick walk. It's about a 10-minute walk. You can also take the circuit. It's not the bus that was here. Anybody do a selfie last night? Okay, a few people. It is not the little selfie station that was here. It's a little golf cart that runs around. You can get it online. You get the app, and there's the one shot and all that good stuff. Or is it just walk? It's not far. Oh, hey, it moves. All right, and then Thursday, again, 90-minute deep dives up in the morning, breakout sessions in the afternoon. I forgot to put it on there. Closing, we're going to have lightning demos. Where's Phil? All right. Phil is also very disappointed. Only 6 of you have signed up for a lightning demo so far. So if you're, what is a lightning demo? This is a great question. Some of you, not some of you, all of you have a problem that you have solved at work. And you may not, how many of you think I have absolutely nothing I can share with anybody? How many of you kind of think, okay, you don't have to raise your hand. But I've heard that from a lot of people in the room already. They're like, there's nothing I can share. Like all this content here, I can't share anything. That is entirely incorrect. You have something that you can share, and you can do it. You only hit 5 minutes, no slides. Just get up there, get your VS Code ready, or Windows Terminal. Do a little thing real quick. There's not that much pressure on you, and if you mess up, it's fine. We all mess up. How many of you have your terminal error colors not red? Like mine's green. Yeah. Anyways, if you get red text on the screen, it's fine. It happens. We're all human. But you have a story that you can share. You have a problem that you have fixed, and other people have that same problem. I can guarantee it. There's someone in this room that has the exact same problem as you have, and someone has fixed it, and you need to go find that person who has fixed that problem so they can help you. Does that make sense? All right. How many people are going to sign up for a lightning demo now? All right, I got 3 more people. I tried, Phil. Phil can do a better job at lunch. All right, and the last thing to kind of help close me out, because I'm already over time, is this is not, so we talked about this is not a conference. It's more kind of an unconference type thing. But this is also not a technical event. This is a career-oriented event. Every year, we talked about the on-ramp people, how every year someone's like, I got a new job, I got a great raise, I can provide better for my family. That's what the rest of the conference is about too. Yes, the content is great. The content is recorded. You can go watch that online. You know what's not recorded? The hallway track. So make sure you're taking your time and investing in these networking relationships. Make friends. You're like, oh, I'm chatting on Slack, we're good. You're going to forget about Slack in about a month, and you're all going to go inactive, and you're not going to get notifications. So make sure you're exchanging contact information on somewhere. If you can stay in Slack all you want. Like, you'll be there forever and ever until we delete the Slack workspace. But exchange contact emails, phone numbers, LinkedIn requests. Do something. Make friends. Make connections. Because what I really would like to see, especially for all of you new-time attendees next year, I want at least one of you to come up and say, because of this event, I now have a better job, I have more money, I can provide better for my family, because that is what the purpose of this conference is. It is not to provide you with technical content, it's to help make you a better person and to help make you be able to go further in your careers. Make sense? All right. We are going to take a 8-minute break, so they're going to come and clean the tables, and then Ivy's going to come back up here at 9:30 for our keynote. Thank you very much.